Hello everyone, and welcome back to Yogalibrium. We're going to begin this yin yoga class in hero pose, or any comfortable position that you like, but if it's okay for you, sit on top of your heels. And let's just take a moment here to take some gentle circles with the neck. A few times in one direction, being slow and mindful. And we'll pause with the chin tucked towards the chest. Take a second here. And then slowly go ahead and bring your head up to a neutral position. And take those neck rolls on the second side. Nice and easy. Allowing your breath to move freely through the body. As you take this time to arrive for your practice. And let's go ahead and pause with the head tilted back, opening up through the throat. And then come on up to neutral. And from here, let's take the arms behind our back. You can find opposite elbows, maybe fists. If it's available, reverse prayer. And just take a moment to really feel your heart center opening up, relaxing the shoulders, breathing into the belly and into the chest. And with each breath that you take, carrying the intention of being as present as possible on your mat and in your body and in this space. And as we move through our practice today, we'll be holding our poses for about 3 minutes each. So we'll have plenty of time to arrive in each posture. Plenty of time to take all of that external energy and bring it inward. So that we can get the full benefit of our yin practice. Good. From here, let's interlace our fingers behind the back, stretch the elbows out, and take a little bit of a back bend here, opening up through the chest. And exhale, let that go. We're going to crawl our hands forward. We'll release all the way down onto our belly. And we're going to come into sphinx pose. So let's take the elbows underneath the shoulders, palms facing down, and energetically, just gently pressing into the floor and drawing that energy back towards you so that you feel the heart space coming forward between the arms. Finding any position that feels okay for your neck, whether you're lifting the head up or tucking the chin down, you can decide what feels best for you. And doing your best to relax any muscles that you don't need. Find the minimum amount of effort that you need to hold yourself in the pose. For some of you, you might lift yourself up into seal pose, walking the hands a little bit wider and then pressing to extend the elbows. If you try this and it doesn't feel right, then just come right back down to sphinx. Wherever you are, breathing freely. If you're in your seal pose, go ahead and start to gently lower back down onto your elbows. All together, let's take one last deepest breath in here in Sphinx. And then we'll start to let that go. We're going to come into bow tie pose. So we're going to take the right arm over top of the left and wiggle the fingertips as far away from each other as possible. If you like, you can take some kind of pillow or block if you have one underneath your forehead, or just relax your forehead towards the floor. This is such a beautiful opening for your shoulders and for your upper back. We're just going to let the weight of the upper body sink over top of the arms. Allowing tension and stress to melt away and leave the body with every exhale. And your practice really is your time. So making sure you're always setting yourself up in some way that most benefits you. But more importantly, taking note of the kind of thoughts that come through your head as we find stillness in the practice. And as best as you can, trying to find that seat of objective observation. Simply being aware of the thoughts that are coming in, but not becoming attached to them, just allowing them to pass by as easily as you allow your breath to flow. And we're almost done here. Go ahead, take one more deep breath. And then as slowly and gently as you like, we'll start to release ourselves by wiggling the arms around. The right arm can reach all the way around and back. Let's fold the right knee in and catch the right foot. Pull the heel in towards the glute and press the hips down. And then go ahead and release that. Let's plant the hands underneath the shoulders and press ourselves up into a tabletop pose. Beautiful. We'll land in child's pose for a moment, taking the forehead down towards the floor, hips resting over top of heels. Breathing into the spine. And we'll slowly start to round ourselves all the way up, back into tabletop. We'll take a few cat-cows here, rounding the spine on the exhale and pressing into the palms, opening up through the chest on the inhale, just a few times in your own breath. And finding your way back towards neutral. And we're gonna start to crawl the hands and the knees up the mat. We'll cross the ankles and we'll go ahead and sit down. Extend the legs in front and then go ahead and lie down. Our next pose is going to be banana asana. So as you feel ready, let's fold the knees in and press the feet into the floor. We'll shift the hips over towards the right side. We'll start to extend the legs over towards the top left corner of the mat. The torso over towards the upper left corner of the mat. If it's comfortable for you, you can cross right ankle over left. Maybe catch the right wrist with the left hand, making your way into your crescent moon shape. Allow the pelvis to relax and soften towards the mat. Scanning from the top of the head down to the toes and finding any areas that are holding onto tension that you can let go of. Maybe it's just the space between your eyebrows, or taking the time to soften your jaw. Finding your way back to an even breath. And allowing yourself one more deep inhale into that right side body. And lengthen out the exhale as you start to release the torso back in line with the hips and the legs back in line with the hips. We'll take the right ankle above the left knee. You can keep that bottom leg straight if it feels right, or bend that left knee in so that the sole of the foot meets the floor. If it still feels okay, go ahead and start to draw that left leg in towards you as you open the right knee out to the side. Taking the interlace of your finger behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Feel a little bit of weight in your sacrum. Soften the shoulders. And allow this gentle hip opening, breath by breath. And each moment is an opportunity to become more present. And go ahead and give that leg one more squeeze in towards your chest if that's where you are. And then we're going to go ahead and meet with the sole of the left foot on the floor. We're going to cross the right knee right over top of the left, extend the right arm out beside you, and then let the legs fall over to the left. Coming into a nice spinal twist here. And as you arrive, just take a moment to energize those right fingers and really feel that they're reaching away from you as much as possible, finding more space in that shoulder. Finding some broadness across your collarbones. And finding more space between each vertebrae in your spine as you surrender to your pose. And take the deepest breath in that you can. And the longest exhale that you can find. And then let's draw a big circle with that right arm. Take it all the way above the head and let it roll you over onto the left side. And then we'll start to energize the right leg towards straight and press into the hands. Come up on top of the sit bones. We'll adjust our hips square with the top of the mat. Take the left sole of the foot into the right inner thigh. Take an inhale, lift yourself up, and an exhale, come forward over the right leg for half butterfly. nice and slow, let's start to come all the way back up. Shrug the shoulders back, and from here, we're gonna start to bring that right leg in towards us. And we're gonna just massage the right foot here for a moment or two. So use your thumbs to really press into the metatarsal, giving your feet some beautiful love and attention that they deserve for carrying you around all day. And you might try taking your left hand and weaving pinky toe with pinky finger and taking all the fingers in between the toes so that the toes are spread nice and wide, taking a couple circles here in both directions. Nice, and then we're gonna just gently start to release that, and we're coming into square pose. So take your left shin parallel to the top of the mat. Stack the right ankle over top of the left knee. Finding any kind of position that works for you here. If it's available, you can start to fold forward. Otherwise, breathing exactly where you are is perfect. As always, just looking for your own edge in the pose. Beautiful. Take your time, slowly start to come up out of the posture. And we'll just let that go. Extend your left leg out in front of you. We're going to fold the right shin around and back so that the top of the shin and the top of the foot are on the floor. We'll transition into half saddle pose. So maybe you're going to stay right here. If it's available, maybe walk back onto your hands, pause, take a breath. If you still have space, maybe lower onto elbows. Pause and take a breath. If you still have space, maybe lowering down onto your back. Maybe taking the arms up above your head. And a last option here might be to fold that left knee in and plant the sole of the left foot onto the floor. But remember, we're going to be here for about 3 minutes, so you really do have time to explore your edge, and we're never in a rush, so just make sure you find something that works for you moment to moment. Allowing whatever opening is available today to happen in its own time. And if you were lying down on your back, we're going to slowly start to press ourselves back up towards seated. We're going to keep the right leg where it is for now. But just being gentle with yourself as you transition all the way back up. And with the right leg staying where it is, let's fold the left sole of the foot back to the right inner thigh and just take a little twist for a moment. Reach the right arm up and exhale. Take the right arm over towards that left knee, the left hand behind you, gazing over that left shoulder. And then looking forward again, take your time, slowly transition out of that. Release the legs forward and go ahead and shake everything from side to side. Beautiful job. And let's cross over top of the ankles. We'll plant the hands back down. We're going to come all the way back down to lie on the belly, and we're going to move into bow tie pose on the second side. So we'll take the left arm over top this time, right arm underneath, wiggle the fingers away from each other as much as possible. Slowly relaxing the forehead towards the floor or towards your prop if you were using one. Notice the difference between sides. Relax your glutes. Relax your shoulders. Relax any tension in the legs. Find as much stillness as you can. Nice and slow, let's start to lift up out of this one. Taking that left arm and swing it all the way around and back. Bending that left knee in, catch the toe, pull the heel in towards the glute. And gently start to release. Press the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back up into tabletop. This time we're going to crawl the knees forward a little bit. We're going to come into a toe squat. So we're going to go ahead and tuck the toes behind us. Slowly sink the hips on top of the heels. You can use the hands forward for support, or if it's okay, you can walk yourself up so that the entire weight of the upper body is opening up those toes. And we're not going to stay here for too long, just about a minute in this one. And you might notice that one side feels a little bit more open than the other side since we've already taken that little bit of a foot massage from the first side. And remember, this too shall pass. We won't be here for very long. So keep finding the deepest breaths that you can. Good. Last deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, start to let it go. Beautiful. Walk the hands forward and go ahead and tap the toes out a little bit behind you. And let's go ahead and crawl the knees forward again. Cross the ankles, lie down. We'll start to make our way into Banana Asana on the second side. As you're ready, go ahead and lie down. Fold the knees in. Press into the feet, float the hips over to the left. Torso and the legs are going to extend over toward the right corners of the mat. Take whichever variation you like. Relax the body. Relax the mind. Breathe into stillness. And let's release out of this one. Let's take the torso back in line with the hips. Legs in line with the hips. Take the left ankle over top of the right knee. You can stay here with that right leg extended. Or fold the right knee in and plant the sole of the foot down. Stay right here. Maybe interlace your fingers behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Start to bring the knee up towards you. Open up that left hip. Last breath here. And we'll all meet with the sole of the right foot landing on the mat. We'll cross the left ankle all the way over top of the right. And we'll come into that spinal twist, legs over to the right, and left arm reaching out beside you. Nice and slow, starting to draw that big circle with the left arm so that you roll over onto the right side. We'll start to extend the left leg towards straight. Let's come on up. Take the sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh, root down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come forward. Half butterfly. And go ahead and take one last breath here. And we'll slowly start to lift ourselves up out of this one. And from here, let's go ahead and start to massage that left foot. So using your thumbs to really press into the ball of the foot and into your metatarsal. And then maybe taking your right fingers and placing them between each toe. A few circles one way and the other way. And then we're going to slowly set up our square pose on the second side. So the right shin is parallel to the top of the mat. The left ankle is roughly stacked over top of the right. Take your time to release into your variation of the pose. And taking your time, we'll start to release out of square pose. Release the left foot from on top of the right and extend the right leg towards straight. Let's fold the left shin around this time so that the top of the foot and the shin are off to the side. Half saddle pose, taking your time, stay right here. Maybe you'll start to walk the hands back a little bit. Pause there as long as you need. If you still have a little bit of space, lower down to elbows, all the way down to the floor. And your last option is to fold the right leg in and plant the sole of the right foot down. Remembering that this side might need something different than the other side and being okay to modify however you need to. And start to take your time as you lift yourself back up towards a seated position if you were lying down. We're going to keep the left leg where it is for a moment. Let's take the sole of the right foot back to the left inner thigh. And let's take that twist, left arm up. And exhale, gazing over the right shoulder. And take your gaze back around in front of you, and then gently release both legs forward. Give them a nice shake out from side to side. Let that go. And from here, we're going to take our time. If there's any other movement that you feel like you need before you take Shavasana, take it now. Otherwise, we're lying down on our back, taking up as much space as possible. Allowing the legs to flop open in either direction, allow the palms to face up, allow the fingertips to curl, allow the eyes to be heavy. Surrendering to this time and this stillness that you so deserve. Shavasana. Deepening your breath, starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rolling wrists and ankles. And go ahead and draw the legs together and float the arms up above your head. Take one last long stretch. And then go ahead and roll over onto one side. Pause for a moment. And then slowly take your time, starting to press yourself all the way back up, finding a comfortable seated position. Let's bring the hands back together in front of the heart, bow our chin to our chest. Finding something from this moment to bring with us into the rest of the day. And that's our class. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. And if you enjoyed this class, please leave a like, maybe a comment, and do subscribe to help support the channel and more classes just like this one. I will see you next time on the mat.